short answer is yes. Data governance and culture. It's a stool that has 3 legs to reside on. If a stool is missing any one of those legs, it can't stand upright and so safely. So I think it's important that organizations look at all 3 and not try to embark on any type of AI journey without addressing them equally and understanding how each contributes to ultimately to the success of AI deployment or agentic AI deployment. First is data, and particularly with agentic AI, it's foundational with any AI, but in particular with agentic, companies need to look at the foundational data layer as more than just a checkbox exercise. They've got to invest in fast, clean data pipes that feed the agentic system. Without that data, without clean, fast, reliable data, agentic systems will hiccup or not work at all. So understanding how that works at a product level or production level, I think is really fundamentally important. And the mindset needs to be something more than just a checkbox exercise on what you invest in. You've got to invest deeper into your data systems. The second was governance. Particularly if you think about high trust enterprises like healthcare or banking. These are verticals where transactions and trust with customers over repeat transactions is really fundamental to continuing continuity in business. And so understanding how governance will work, how are AI agents supervised, if you will. It can be via human in the loop, it can be via other AI agentic systems. We always advise that any agentic AI system has deep auditing capabilities and human visibilities in the back end to make sure that decisions that are being taken are understood, and if they're not being orchestrated properly, that the adaptation happens at a speed that's not simply automatic, but matches the need of the business. And then lastly is culture. It takes a great deal of, there's a great deal of fear, perhaps some of it warranted, perhaps some of it unwarranted in the marketplace around the impact of AI in general, but agentic AI to workers in operational tasks within an enterprise. The reality is that companies need to understand that embracing AI at all levels, whether it's the IT department, the accounting and finance department, marketing, your front-end teams and sales, your back-end operations teams. This is a holistic effort because agentic AI systems impact and reach at various points. Think of it like a spider's web. That agentic agent looks at other and talks to other agents it can coordinate activities with other agents in the network or even to external tools to achieve business objectives. Company at all levels has to be holistically looking at this and prepared for it culturally to embrace and adapt to the needs and the value that agentic can bring. And again, we always encourage companies who confront an agentic application and look at it as a glass half empty or glass half full exercise. Look at it as a glass half full exercise. Embrace people, bring people systems along at the same pace or in advance of your AI and agentic deployments to minimize that dislocation and discomfort. Balancing control, compliance, and autonomy is a fundamental question when an enterprise views an agentic AI opportunity or project. Compliance is really the underpinning toward all of it. I mean, there's never going to be a human out of the loop or an independent, no human available decision-making process inside, perhaps not in our lifetimes anyway, inside the agentic model. Someone always has to validate that the system, even the system itself, is working properly. There are always going to be external constraints, legal constraints, cultural constraints, such that in high compliance environments, banking, healthcare, even telco is a high compliance environment. Lots of rules that are imposed externally on an organization. All of these rules need to be balanced by any type of agentic AI application. So looking at compliance as a fundamental underpinning to a broad definition of compliance. Compliance to external rules and compliance to internal values and internal rules and processes and culture would be the foundational layer. Like data is a foundational piece of an agentic AI application. Well, there are a lot of misconceptions that need to be erased, if you will, or transformed in the mind of an enterprise when embarking on agentic AI projects. I think enterprises often feel that the need doesn't need to be specifically articulated, that it can be generally articulated, and a vendor or partner will be able to understand exactly what it is that they're looking to do or they want as an outcome. I think that's a really big problem. The right approach is defining exactly what an enterprise seeks to accomplish, and that's a self-definition. Now, a good partner or a good vendor or a good firm such as Certus can help that, and that's part of our job, is to sort of cull that out of the enterprise and help them be able to reach that specificity. But in the absence of doing it, it's a misconception that it can happen without a lot of work or collaboration on the part of the organization. Second, not really looking at their risk tolerance and governance maturity on the front side to determine how much autonomy agents can safely wield. That sort of safety factor, not understanding like, well, I want to automate this, then get very deep into it and realize, whoa, I can't actually do that. My compliance department, my legal department's not comfortable with it, or my IT department says we can't tie into this system because it's doing, the agent is doing something else. So evaluating, how much risk tolerance that you have in governance maturity, and doing that at a deep level is I think, is important, and companies often have a misconception about that. Another misconception is that systems really, as I mentioned in an earlier answer, agentic systems are a bit like spider webs. You touch on one end and it reverberates all the way through to the other side. And agentic systems are very much like that. So oftentimes it's a misconception that, hey, I just plunk this down into my organization because I want to automate this specific process and it's okay, without really understanding the implications that an agentic system has multiple interconnection points and may need to touch a lot of other systems. So really understanding the integration complexity with legacy systems and the scale that a company wants to achieve on the front side is another necessity, and often a misconception that it can be done without a lot of effort and thought on the part of the company in advance.